man's life and in a woman's life. You guys know we're both here for only a limit of time, and that short time can go fast or slow, just depends. But it's usually went really fast at the end. From when we were born to where we are now, it went really fast in the end. So you got to understand, we're still here just for a limited of time. And I'm speaking on this as a woman empowerment coach. I'm speaking on this as a business coach too. It's like, and then as a marriage coach too, as a marriage counselor also, and as a woman and as a masculine woman, I'm going to speak on it even more. It's like in self-esteem, you guys understand, there's a chance when we looked at ourselves when we felt like we're the best and the greatest of our feelings ever. Then when we met our partner, we knew that we were the best. And then the moment in time, once when our partner starts aging and we start aging, and we want to recenter ourselves back to if we're the best or not, then if you feel like from what history lets man think and what women think, because a man think of history still too, to believe for themselves too, that's why a woman and coach had to talk about, because a woman empowerment coach, that's what I wanted to talk about, to speak on. Because you got to understand, if we're limited as women to only how much we could do, or our self-esteem is plummeted by other women. Why? Why would that be a plummeting thing that her self-esteem for her self-worth is that high in her business? But for her self-worth for herself, she's supposed to feel what? Don't inspire the confidence that men have, because man confidence are supposed to feel higher in themselves. Then what is a woman supposed to feel? What a slave master asked her to feel? Like she was nothing? Like she was a downgraded success? And a man had to hit the higher road, huh? That's what it always had to look like. The man hit the high road and had his success. Yeah, he had his hard troubles, yeah. But he's a man still. So he got help from other men who wanted to boost him up. And then as a woman empowerment coach, as I am, and as a hard-working earner type of woman too, and as a business coach who runs all her businesses as such, and make sure her marriage is taken care of too, and make sure she's well-being, and make sure she feels good, it's more viewed if a man got married and got a wife and had kids, his success levels is better. But if a woman's married, has a husband, and has a child, but her successes, for other women's point of view, is supposed to be less than, because of how a man wants a woman's agenda to look like for herself to feel. Like, oh, you're so empowered to do so many great things, but you're still a woman. And I'm still a man, so I'm still going to reach higher things, and my name's going to be better on those cover lines. But when a woman starts building her self-worth, then her self-esteem starts to go down, because how other women want to perceive her self-worth now. Because now she's making more money. She's taking care of more business deals. But now every other woman, based on how a man motioned for confidence for a woman's self-belief to feel for herself, because a man's way of thinking of how a man wants a woman to behave and think, like, we're only here for a short period of time. Am I not able to choose what I want to feel for myself to believe to be true? If I feel like I'm a boss and I feel like I'm taking care of my marriage, what do you guys feel that is limiting me as a woman? Oh, because there's no kids in your picture that I had, as a woman, with my husband, knowing you guys now know that I still have a birth defect too, and I'm not having children in this life. I had children last life. I am Nefertiti to you guys, but I'm not having another child in this life besides my child that I raised. That's still my kid, and then of course the self-esteem that pumbles because other women want to say stuff, but what would other men say to you? Like, I never knew building my own self-esteem and building my self-worth would make haters, because I'm a woman trying to build my self-esteem to inspire other women, you see? And then because a man feel like on their ways of how slave masters, because this is where all these history things that convert into. You see, where a woman's self-esteem has to plumble for a man to feel heightened. That's how it was when I was here, the first time I was here. 3,500 years ago in ancient Egypt, and I had to build my own spiritual awakening background and religions and everything else, business scenarios too. Now in this life too, as a goal of achievement to believe for a woman to inspire for too, because a woman, I wanted to be a pharaoh, and I'm Amenhotep the fourth sister, and I wanted to be a pharaoh, so I could support a woman's ambitions and export as we had it as the equal balances from my brother, Amenhotep the fourth, as he viewed me as equal, unto him too. So Amenhotep the fourth, he viewed me as equal as a woman, and then as history wants to perceive for women's knowledge to be true still too. Do you see how all this looks as a history reminder? And I do say I apologize what happened on my phone. What happened was because it was on my, when you're like outside and you're kneeling on something and then it wants to slip out, and I didn't be able to pause it so that way y'all don't have to hear that type of thing, but you guys know how I like to stay live with you guys and let you guys have good coaching advice with me, So yeah, but history, what is history supposed to say for women empowerment, for women to believe too? Only men are supposed to have great heights in history, but women are never supposed to feel like they could achieve anything in life. All you could achieve is be a wife and have kids, and that's all you're supposed to ever achieve. You could have dreams and millions of dreams, but you can't achieve all that because of this subject, because you're a woman, and that's all you will ever be, and that's all it is. Then when we grow older, from our husbands not feeling the way they felt we felt others about us as we did when we were younger, how we have to feel, but it's just because a man's idealization of what he standards as beauty. But when a woman empowerment is in standards of beauty, that's not beauty, because now it's a man's role, because you're trying to have the big dog name. I'm Nefertiti, you guys. You already know my name. I bark like a dog. But I bark like a dog for a reason, for women to feel empowered again, to say, let me take off where I left off it as, But women are always supposed to be less and never feel anything in life just because what a man wants them to feel, but low and lower than their competitional value. But I'm Nefertiti, you guys. I'm in a sales business too, and I'm not going nowhere. And I do real life people working too, meaning I touch people's mind, bodies, souls too, from my teachings as a woman. But a woman's gifts are never enough because it's not a man doing it. Why is that? Because of the statues of what? Of ancient times. Remember, ancient times was going good when I was here. But the moment when I left, then that's when the backlashes started showing that slavery for women still did exist. And every time when a woman's name kept trying to be mentioned, she's doing big things, she had to look deemed as a hoe just to do big things for herself as a woman. Because that was the only time a woman's biggest objective was oh, look how many men want her. But the moment she tries to build something else of self-worth for herself, there's no value in it. There's no value.